MSU rallies from a first-half deficit, knocks off Indiana 31-27. They trailed by 2 touchdowns at halftime. Jesse, what did you see in the early going that prevented MSU from getting off to a fast start?
Well, they really struggled with Indiana's no-huddle offense. It's something that most of the players said they expected to see at the very beginning of the game. They practiced for it, but they just weren't prepared come game time. The game speed was way too fast for them, and they really struggled to contain that. Most of Indiana's touchdowns, in fact, I think all of them came on drives that were under 3 minutes. And the defense is really going to need to keep up with the offensive tempo if they want to win some more games.
Yeah, MSU trailed 17-0 after 1. D'Antonio had to call the team over and get them to regroup. Trailed by 2 touchdowns at halftime. This is now 5 games out of 6 that MSU's trailed at halftime. Do you see this as something that MSU needs to nip in the bud, especially because they're not going to be playing teams like Indiana that are near the bottom of the Big Ten?
Absolutely. MSU really needs to kick this habit of going into halftime trailing. They've got teams against they got games against good teams like Michigan, Nebraska, and Wisconsin coming up, and they can't go into halftime trailing those teams because there's a pretty good chance they won't be able to dig their way out.
Yeah, big news though coming into today. Aaron Burbridge gets his first career start, becomes the first freshman receiver for MSU since 2004 to get over 100 receiving yards, 8 catches, 134 yards. And Benny Fowler, the guy who replaces, scores the game-winning touchdown. What do you see out of those two? Do you think this could be something that gives Maxwell, some dependable people to go to, some guys that can make plays in the passing game?
I think when you see a performance like this from Burbridge and Fowler, I think it shows that, this team does have talent at wide receiver, which has been a concern for the majority of the season. They've been telling us for weeks that this team does have talent. These are good guys. They're good players, but they just weren't making the plays. And this week they made the plays they needed to in order to come out with a victory.
Yeah, good game for Maxwell. Completes 60% of his passes, 290 yards, near 300. And Le'Veon Bell goes over 100 yards with 2 scores. So MSU's big stars come out to play on offense. They rally and respond in the fourth quarter for a big win. They'll head home to play Iowa next week in a big Big Ten game. For the State News, this is Josh Mansour and Jesse O'Brien signing off.